Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 2, Chapter 4.1-4.3 review. Remember to show all your work and place your final answers on the line. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So looking at number 1, it says Frankie was asked to figure out if the ordered pair 2, -4 is a solution to -2x plus 9y equals -40. He said yes. Okay, so using numerical evidence and a complete sentence, explain whether or not he responded correctly. So what that means is he's saying that this is a solution to that problem. So what we have to do is we have to check. Sorry, I don't like the orange. So to do that, we're going to take that equation, the -2x plus 9y equals -40, and then we're going to plug in. And we're going to check to see if Frankie was right or wrong. So he said that remember the first point is the x and the second one is the y. So 2 and -4. So -2 times 2, we get -4 plus 9 times -4 is -36. And does that equal -40? Well, -4 plus -36 gives us -40. And is that true or false? Yeah, that's true. Awesome. So now we have to explain that in a sentence. Well, how did he respond? Did he, right here it's asking, did he respond correctly? Well, did he? Yeah. He responded correctly because we have to prove it, the ordered pair, because that's what we were checking, 2, -4. What did it give us? It gives a, we just saw it over here, true statement. Okay, so there's number 1. Number 2. Rashid was asked to complete a linear table of values for the linear equation y equals 5/2x plus 8. Check each ordered pair, show your work, and name the pair that he found incorrectly. So one of those is wrong. Which one is it? So what that means is we need to check this, each one of them. Okay? So our first one, I'm going to do the first one in gray. Y is -7 equals 5/2. X is -6 plus 8. Okay, well, what's 5/2 times -6? Well, 5 times 6 is 30. 30 divided by 2 is 15, and it's going to be a -15. So we have -7 equals -15 plus 8, and then -15 plus 8 is -7. So, yay, the first point works. Now let's check the second one. So we have the point 0, -8. We have -8 equals 5/2 times 0 plus 8. Okay. So what's 5/2 times 0? 5/2 times 0 is 0, and we're left with -8 equals 8. Aww. That didn't work. Okay. So we found it. the incorrect pair, 0, -8. Next one. Says graph the equation by finding the x and y intercepts. Now, when we're finding the x and y intercepts, the x-intercept, y is 0, and the y-intercept, x is 0. So we do 6x minus 9 times 0 equals -18. And then we're doing the same equation, but now we're plugging in 0 for x. And what I like to do right here at the bottom where my answer is going to be, I'm going to write the ordered pair right away so I don't get them confused. 9 times 0 cancels out, and we're left with 6x equals -18. When we divide by 6, we get x equals -3. All right, on the right side, 6 times 0 is 0, and we're left with -9y equals -18. When we divide both of those by -9, we get that y equals 2. So, and then we can put them down here too, -3, 0, and 0, 2. Okay. So let's go ahead and graph that now. -3, 0, and 0, 2. There we go. And now I'm going to grab my ruler so I can graph. Whoa, that was way off. There we go, that's much better. Make sure our lines are nice and straight. And then we have arrows. Okay, next one. Says Jose works for a used car dealership. His weekly pay is based on a salary plus commission. He earns 20% commission on the total value of the cars he sells. The linear equation that represents the situation is y equals 0.20x plus 500, where x represents the total value of the cars he sells, and y represents the total amount he gets paid each week. So I like to write that down at the top so I can go back to it. So x represents the value of cars, and y represents the total money paid. So it's saying how much will he get paid if he sells $9,000? So did they tell us the x or the y? Well, they said the value of the car, so that's the x. The x is 9,000, and I don't know what y is. Okay, so y equals 0.20 times 9,000 plus 500. So what's 0.20 times 9,000? Use your little calculator. You should get that y equals 1,800 plus 500. And when you add those two up, we get $2,300. Okay? Now, don't do all this hard work and forget to label your answer. Okay? All right, let's flip it over. Number 5. It says Mr. Grice and his wife want to throw a party for their son Caleb at Pump It Up in Elmhurst. They charge a flat fee to rent the room, plus $70 per hour you want to use the facility. The linear equation that represents this situation is y equals 70x plus 300, where x represents the number of hours renting the facility and y represents the total amount they will have to pay. So the first thing I want to do again is figure out what is my x and what is my y. So it says x represents the hours and y is the amount paid. Okay, it's the money. So how many hours can we rent the facility if they only have $510? So did they tell us the x or did they tell us the y? Remember, x is hours. They didn't say anything about hours, but they told us that the y is 510. So 510 equals 70x plus 300. And now we have to solve. So when we're solving this, the first thing we do is we're going to subtract 300 to both sides. We get 210 equals 70x. And then I need to solve for x, which means I need to divide both sides by 70. And 210 divided by 70 gives us 3. So 3 isn't our final answer. We have to make sure that we attach our label. So 3 hours. Okay. 6 says to find the slope of the line by using the slope formula. And don't forget to reduce all fractions. So remember, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So as I'm doing this, I'm going to use this for every single one of these. I'm writing it down right now. Okay, that way I don't forget. I'm going to do one of these together, and you guys are going to do the other ones on your own. Okay? So let's do A. Remember, y2 minus y1, so 2 minus 5, and then negative 4 minus 8. 2 minus 5 is negative 3. And negative 4 minus 8 is negative 12. Always reduce. So I can divide that by 3. And when we divide it by 3, we get 1/4. And why is it positive? Well, that's because there's 2 negatives. So our slope is 1/4. Okay? Why don't you try to do the rest of these on your own? Go ahead and pause the video, and good luck. Okay, and there we go. So just remember that it's y2 minus y1, so we had negative 5 plus 7. Negative 5 plus 7 is 2. And then on the bottom, we have 4 minus 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. Now we have to reduce all of our fractions, and 2 divided by 0, can't do that, that's undefined. Remember, we've talked about it that you need to memorize when it's undefined, and then in C, when it's 0. So for C, 8 minus 8, we get 0 on the top, 3 plus 7 on the bottom. 0 divided by 10 is 0. Okay, last one, negative 3 minus 2, we get negative 5. 6 plus 4 is 10. I can reduce that fraction, and we get negative 1/2. Now, other things that you should be thinking about, for like A, we know that A is rising because it's positive. When it's undefined, that means we have a vertical line. When it's 0, our slope is 0, that is a horizontal line. It's lazy, like Ms. Carranza says. And the negative, that means that that line is falling. Okay? All right. Find the slope of the line. And once again, remember to reduce all fractions. So just by looking at this, I know that it's falling. So I'm going to have a negative slope. I count how many I go down, which is -3, and to the right one. So I would say that my slope is -3/1, but I can reduce that to -3. B. So do I go up or down at all? No, so my top number is 0, and then I go 1, 2, 3 to the right. I have to reduce this. 0 divided by 3 is 0. And that's what we just talked about for C. If it's 0, it's a horizontal line. All right, C. Right away, I can see that this is rising, so it's going to be a positive slope. I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, so up 4, and then right 1, 2, 3, 4. So our slope is 4/4, and when I divide that, I get 1. Okay, D, last one. So technically we could be like, well, it's kind of falling or rising. I don't know. I'm going up or down. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can say I went down 7, but did I go left or right at all? No, I didn't. And when 0's on the bottom, it's undefined. And that's like, oh, Mr. Grice, that's a vertical line. Vertical lines are undefined. That's the math that we did in 6B. Okay? And that last one, yeah, that's extra credit. I'm not going to do it for you. So if you have any questions, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. That's why we get paid the big bucks. But this is Mr. Grice signing off for Algebra 2, Chapter 4.1, 4.3 review. Thanks for watching.